Today's Blueprint Lens asks a question I don't think enough people are asking. Can someone ever truly move forward after feeling rejected? Or do some people spend the rest of the relationship trying to reverse the score? Everybody seems to be looking at Casey after Casa Amor, but I'm looking at who he has been since day one. Because I don't think the story started when Casey recoupled. I think it started the moment Aniya walked past his door and stood behind Sincere's. If you only watch the end of the story, Casey looks like a guy who changed after Casa Amor. But if you're watching the entire season, there's another possibility. On day one, Aniya did not stand at Casey's door. She stood at Sincere's. Sincere had options and Casey had nobody. That moment matters. Day one matters. It set the trajectory for everything that happened moving forward. From that point on, Casey wasn't just building a connection with Aniya. He may have also been trying to stop feeling like the guy that nobody chose. This also may be why he didn't truly pursue Soul. Soul already had Sincere, and I don't think he wanted to lose to Sincere twice. Now fast forward to Casa Amor. Both Casey and Aniya have options. Aniya actually has more options. There's 12 guys at Casa Amor for the girls. There's only 6 ladies at Casa Amor for the guys. But there's a part of Aniya that's felt a little guilty about not choosing Casey from the beginning because he's mentioned it a few times himself. I believe that Aniya thought she had a point to prove by staying with Casey, even though she had a better connection with Carl, even though she knew that her and Casey weren't quite compatible. So Aniya decides not to recouple and she stays with Casey. Then Casey comes in and he walks in with TT or Tiara. And in that moment, the roles reversed. Casey has options, Aniya has none. Aniya has an emotional breakdown at the fact that Casey comes in with someone else, which means he has not chosen her, even though she chose him. And in this moment, the Casey we know, the good guy who's been so passionate about protecting women's feelings, Casey disappears, his mask slips. But it doesn't quite end there because it turns into humiliation. Casey then laughs with the other islanders about how she's emotionally reacting and about how crazy it looked. This is the same Casey that all season has told us how hard it is and has shown us in his actions how hard it is for him to watch women be emotional. But is that really what he was showing us? Casey might have been playing the good guy because he didn't have a choice, because he didn't have the options. Because look at his behavior once the options come to him. Casey's attitude is no surprise to me though, because this is what happens when you see a shift in power and leverage between a dynamic. And this happens in many different relationships. It's work relationships, personal, family. It happens everywhere. And Casey continues to show us more of who he is. Because when Carl is brought back to the villa, his response is that he is happy in hopes that that means that Aniya will get off of his D. To say someone needs to get off your D in that way is as if you are that guy, and we remember day one, you didn't feel like that guy. When Soul was around, you didn't feel like that guy. But now that this option has come your way and you get to be the one doing the rejecting, now you're that guy. He made a lot of different dismissive comments towards Aniya, mentioning that she should have chose Carl. It's not the same Casey that we saw before, and I'll give him credit. He played the game the right way. If we're looking at it as a game, which it is, they are trying to win $100,000. Well played, Casey. But there is something to be said about a person who has the ability to flip emotionally in that way, and that's something to pay attention to. Overall, what caught my attention about Casey wasn't that he chose someone else. It was the energy behind it. Now, to be fair, I do appreciate Casey did apologize to her. I wish he would have been more proactive about the conversation instead of making her speak first. He should have been accountable, but I feel like once again he wanted to check her temperature and base his conversation off of her. Ultimately, I would love for Casey to stand in his decisions without needing prompting and guidance from someone else, which Aniya did hint at as well. Now, do I believe he meant his apology? Yeah. I don't think he wants to be seen as the bad guy, and I think that seeing her get emotional made him feel good on one end, but then there's a human part of him. I think two things can be true at the same time. People write apologies after reflection. People reveal themselves in emotional moments. His apology tells me what he thought after he calmed down. His laughter, his cockiness, his defensiveness, and all those moments of disrespect, that tells me what he really felt in that moment. Call me crazy, but I'm more inclined to believe what you show me in the moment as opposed to what you rehearse and know is the right thing to say later on. Now, overall, was Casey looking for love, or was he looking to stop feeling like the person who got passed over on day one? Part of me does believe that Casey is still trying to heal that wound, and I can't say that I'm upset with him. I'll just say I don't appreciate the way he went about it. Ultimately, early rejection may have shaped how he experienced everything that followed, and ultimately that would influence Aniya's experience as well. I think we've all seen this outside of the villain on our real lives. Sometimes people aren't necessarily trying to win you. They're trying to stop feeling like they lost. Maybe Casey really did care for Aniya. Maybe he never fully got over the fact that she didn't choose him first. The question isn't whether Casey changed. The question is whether unresolved rejection quietly changed the way he responded once the power shifted. My biggest takeaway from this is a life lesson I learned years ago. Power always reveals character. Was Casey's behavior about finding a better connection? Was it about finally becoming the one who got to do the choosing? I'm curious to your thoughts. Let me know down in the comments what you think. Everybody talks about what happened, but I'm more interested in why it happened. If this perspective made you look at things a little different, please like, share, subscribe, leave a comment down below. We got a lot more to talk about. Come get some if you want some.